Alright, time to come out with a super special Halloween video. Ew! Well, So for VidCon, I had recreated the Generation Lost box, and a lot of y'all really seem to like it and has been asking me to show how I made it, and that's what this video is gonna be. So first off, you want to get a box that will be able to not only fit your head, but make sure there is enough room to fit all the spikes in it without actually touching you, hurting you, or anything of that nature. Now, while making this video, I don't know where my X-Acto knife went, or my blade, or anything, so I'm using scissors, but I highly recommend please use like a razor cutter or something. It will make your line so much cleaner. Because as I was cutting this out, the box where it closes is not straight, so it's recommended if you use like a razor cutter. But I chopped off all the pieces I needed to build the shape of the box. I glued back in the extra panel that I had chopped off. Once I got the general shape of how it like opens and closes, I now start to work on the neck piece. Because when I had made the first box, I worked on that piece last, and that led to just a little bit of complication where I had to take off, I want to say it was like 2 to 3 spikes because it would not close. So this time around, I'm actually doing the neck piece first before I work on the spikes, just to make sure that it all actually fits correctly. And again, if you had a razor knife, your lines would come out so much cleaner. A lot of this was very roughly cut because I was using a pair of scissors. Now, the technique I started to do, this is also different from what I did with the first box, is I actually built it all the way around. I kind of left the bottom of the neck piece open because I thought, oh, I could put foam in there to make it more comfortable, but that also made it a lot looser. So I am making it all the way around. So I'm doing this technique where I take little pieces of cardboard, I have them bent so I can glue them on both sides to make it more stable, like more connected together. And I did that all the way around just to make sure it will stay together tight. You're gonna fall over. You're gonna fall over. So then afterwards, I decided to start working on the spikes. I'll go back to the box itself in a second, but we are now going to be cutting out all the little spikes. And I'm kind of sad because my first box I made, the spikes were like just perfect, but I don't know where those measurements went, so this is also me guessing. So I have this like triangle piece cut out, and that's what I'm doing is just multiple little triangle pieces, because you're gonna slice that kind of how you see the one in the corner. That's how we're gonna slice all these. So you need to have it's 6, 6, 12, 12. That's how many spikes there are in each panel. The two smaller panels are 6 each, and the two bigger ones are 12 each. So we are cutting out a billion little triangles. And as you see, as I'm going, I'm counting just to make sure I have just enough, because I really don't want to make extra, because I have no reason for them. If you want to make backup is always recommended. So then you slice it all down, you make all your little triangles, and then you slice them diagonally? Is the phrase? Question mark? And yeah, it does take a lot of time and some patience, just because there are a lot of them. I mean, I want to say it's like 36 spikes? My math could be wrong. I'll put up the number here in case I'm wrong. But yeah, so the spikes itself is what takes the longest time, because the box itself is not that much of a hard time. So as I'm here gluing all the pieces together, and I'm trying to make sure both sides actually touch, because I want to say the last one I just kind of made it a point at the end and then glued it from there, but a few of the spikes broke that way, so now I'm really making sure they are all actually touching each other's sides to keep them permanent. And then, of course, as I'm doing this, Miss Panda sees what I'm doing, and she wants to help me. And I do let her help, in quotes, because it's the only way I can get this done. And this is what it looks like when all the spikes are glued together. You are going to do a little bit of trimming just to make sure they can all actually fit on the board, because some of the sides are going to be a little longer. And then how I glue them on, I put a seam of hot glue at the edge, and then I use my finger to kind of make it more of a flatter surface, I guess, so that it actually looks like it was like welded on, in quotes. And I just do that repeatedly throughout every single one of the spikes. I'll lay down the hot glue. I'll wait a couple seconds. I know it looks like I'm doing it almost right after. Don't do it right after. You know, obviously hot glue is hot. It can burn. I actually blow on it, give it a couple of seconds, and then I wipe it. Just so I'm not burning myself as I'm doing this. I just have this set on a time lapse, so it looks like I'm doing it very quickly. I'm just putting that disclaimer out there so that people are not just immediately touching their hot glue. And this part honestly was probably the most relaxing part for me, is just gluing them on. Like, kind of frustrating, but relaxing. I do have them set on a very specific way, because if you look at the box here, they do seem to be set a certain way. Like, they mirror each other. So the two little panels and the two big panels, each of the spikes mirror where they are with each other, and that's what I tried to accomplish while I did these spikes, is so that they are mirrored. And I tried to get them as close as possible to where they are on the board, but as you can see with these small ones, I have the three kind of close together, and if you look at it, the one's a little bit more like upwards, sideways upwards, but I only had so much room to work with. So this is all the spikes glued down. And like I said, I had to do like a small seam so that the hot glue isn't that noticeable. And then once I have the spikes done, I actually already gave the box its coat of black, because that's just the base coat. And then I start cutting into the box, because you won't really see the back of the box. and I want to make sure this neck piece is really secured on. While I wait for the hot glue gun to warm up, I decided to put another coat of paint on the spikes, because I already put one coat, because cardboard and foam will like suck in the paint and you get kind of patchiness, I've noticed. So I always put a base coat of whatever paint I have a lot of that I know I'm not using, and then I'm going in another coat with silver so that it at least can shine a little bit. But this is the second layer of paint. I think I do like 4 to 5 different layers of paint, just so you know. Once I get into the painting, I will show which ones I use. So once the hot glue gun is heated up, now I'm starting to glue the neck piece on, and again, I did the same technique I did with the spikes, where I would put it down and then wipe my finger across to make it more flat. And then once I had the inside of the box secured enough, I then would flip it to the other side so I can start gluing that side as well. And then once I get that side, I put another layer of glue, and then I took little pieces of cardboard and I really made sure to secure it. So those little pieces are glued from the inside and the outside to try to give it more of an insurance. Now you can probably use like another panel of cardboard or foam or whatever to actually cover the back if you don't want that shown. I didn't previously do it, but I might do it once this video is done. So I'm doing another layer of paint, just so that they have their third layer. Second layer is silver, but third layer of paint. But what I was doing prior is I took my X-Acto knife, razor knife, whatever you want to call it, that I happened to find a couple of days later, and I'm scoring the back of the cardboard to give the hot glue something to really hold on to when I glue it onto the box. So I'm really focusing on the edges here, as you can see, and then I just go crazy with the middle. Because it really doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be clean. You just want a lot of scoring in it, just so you have something for the glue to hold on to. Because prior, I had just glued it on, and then at VidCon, somebody threw a ball at my box and 2 of the panels broke off. So you just really want to make sure it's secured. And I'll also tell more VidCon stories and stuff once I come out with that video. So with the painting of the spikes, with the 3 colors I showed, which was the black, the kind of goldish, copperish color, and then with the silver, I mainly focused on the edges, not the center, because the edges are what usually will start turning before the center will. And I'm just going crazy. You know, there is no rhyme or reason. Just make sure you go with the black first, then go with the kind of coppery color, and then the silver. And play with your fingers, you know, just do what feels right type thing. That's all I'm doing. There's no real technique to this part. Just make it look messy, make it... yeah. The only other thing I did is at the tips of them, I added more of a copper color because I was kind of copying my hot glue gun where the tip of it is more of a copper color now. There's really no reason to it. It just makes the tips of it, I guess, more noticeable? Question mark? And then I wanted to show the clear difference between when one is fully painted versus just the 2 layers of silver. So you can clearly see the difference between the 2. And then to do this drippy effect, I would dip the paintbrush into black, and then I would take just a little bit of water and dab it on so that it gives it that drippy effect. Because if you look at the actual GenLoss box, it has those like drips to it, and so that's all I'm doing. I'm doing the edges of the spikes, little bit of color, little bit of water. And then that's what they look like. wash, rinse, repeat. There's Panda playing with the box. And then I painted everything but where the panels are gonna go. And again, there's no real technique, just kind of go crazy, splat it on. You just really want to make sure you go heavy on the black and the copper, just because that's what you, like in the picture it looks more darker than light, so make sure you go more to the darker tones. I then scored the inside of the box so that, again, the hot glue has something to hold on to on both sides. And as I'm gluing down the panels, I really focused on the edges, like of course get the center, but really focus on those edges, just so there is no way it can pop off. Because if there's an edge that something can hook onto, it will come off. This is the outside of the box. I like to put a more shinier color on the outside, which I didn't do here, but I will do after the video. And this is the inside of the box. Ooh, ah. And yeah, that's how I made the Generation Lost box. After this video, like I said, I'm going to put on that shiny black. I'm probably going to cover the back of it with like foam or another piece of cardboard or something. So there's just a few things that I'm going to be adding to mine after this video, but this is how I made the original box. And then obviously you can have your own like creative freedom to it, you know, do what feels right for you. But yeah, I hope you like it, and I will see you either for another craft project or an animation. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Ko-Fi. Your name will go at the end of my videos. Or just watching my videos help me a ton. So thank you for watching. I will see y'all next time. Bye bye.